What's going on, y'all? Fast Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. And yes, the setup you see is a little different, but that's because I've got a whiteboard behind me and we're going to be doing some deep dive analysis into the Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button down below and turning on my post notifications by clicking the bell icon down below, because I post a lot on this channel, daily videos. You don't want to miss out. Ton of NBA content, especially Bulls, NFL content when the season starts. You don't want to miss out. And also, while you're at it, follow me on my social media. Links down below and on the screen for my Twitter and my Instagram. I tweet a lot. Y'all can reach me on there, ask any questions, and we can talk and debate and discuss. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls and how they fared, because now that the draft is over, the free agency period has started, and the Bulls have really spent pretty much their entire salary cap. We kind of know what the roster is going to look like come October when the season starts, when training camp opens up. So let's evaluate this roster. Let's see where they stack up, and let's go from there. So, of course, you guys see the depth chart behind me, so I'm going to try to get out of the way so you guys can see the full depth chart. And this is where I want to start, okay? I want to start by evaluating all 5 positions and see where we're at after now the draft is over and after we've spent all our money in free agency, because if you want to do some quick math, this is how much money the Bulls had in free agency, $23 million, and we gave Thaddeus Young about $13 million a year, and we gave Tomas Satoransky about $10 million a year. So there you have it, folks. 13 plus 10, quick math, $23 million. So we are basically out of salary cap space, okay? We've spent our salary cap space. So all you guys ask me in the comments, I'll get to if we have any other moves available. But as far as our salary cap, we've spent it, okay? So let's go to the depth chart over here, and let's take a look at the point guard spot, which, again, we needed to address, okay? I've got Kobe White. Again, don't pay attention to the starters as much for the point guard position, because we really don't know how this is going to shake out. I've got Kobe White listed as starter. I'm really high on him. The point guard we got out of UNC with the 7th overall pick. I made a video dissecting Kobe White completely, so you can go check that out. I don't want to get too in depth here, but we've got Kobe White, we've got Tomas Satoransky, the guard we signed in free agency from the Washington Wizards that I talked about, 3 years, $30 million. Last year the deal was partially guaranteed, so we like that. And then Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is still, obviously on the team. There's talk about whether or not the Bulls may look to trade Chris Dunn. It's certainly a possibility. I was under the impression that they're going to kind of let, the point guards battle it out in training camp, and we go from there, right? And whoever wins the job, straight up. So that is still to be decided. But as of now, Chris Dunn is still on the roster. I will address, whether or not the Bulls should trade Chris Dunn or not in a separate video. And then I've also got Archie here, Ryan Arcidiacono. He's a restricted free agent, so the Bulls can match any offer for him. But as for, whether or not he's a lock to make the roster, I'm not sure. I think if Chris Dunn, we trade him, then Archie would be a good insurance at the point guard spot. But if we keep Chris Dunn, that might be too many point guards. So that's where we're at with the point guard position. Shooting guard, we know we've got Zach LaVine, our stud shooting guard, who absolutely balled out last year. Denzel Valentine returning back from injury. It's going to be a big year for him. This is going to determine if Denzel Valentine is worth keeping or not. Antonio Blakeney, he can score off the bench. He's okay, just depth for us. Small forward position, Otto Porter Jr., who we acquired from the Wizards. Boy, we love taking players from the Wizards, don't we? Otto Porter Jr. is going to be our starter. Of course, Chandler Hutchinson, our 2nd-round pick last year. We are expecting big things out of him this year as well. And here's where you guys see, no, this is not a player. There's nobody called room exception. But you guys were asking, do the Bulls have any more money? And yes, they do. They've got the room exception to still spend in free agency, which is about $4.76 million, okay? So they still have this where they can go out and get a player, and I do expect them to, okay? Now, whether or not that player is, a big man or a wing, shooter, I do think the Bulls right now, and as I go through this depth chart, you will see where I feel like they can address more players. But as for what we do have a room exception of about $4.76 million available to us that we can use partially or all of it. But that's an exception. That's not part of the salary cap, so I don't want people to get that confused, okay? Teams get exceptions. If you're under the cap or over the cap, the number differs depending on where you are. Power forward, Laurie, our stud, there's nothing much to say. He's going to be starting big minutes this year. Thaddeus Young, the other power forward we signed, which I liked. Again, going to give a solid depth as a backup to Laurie, and really a six-man off the bench for us. And he's really going to be our guy off the bench, which I really like. He can play multiple positions. He's a good defender, good at steals, good rebounder. He's going to be solid for us. And then center, we've got Wendell Carter Jr., who was hurt a lot last year. This is going to be a big year for him. Daniel Gafford, the rookie center we drafted out of Arkansas in the second round. And then Cristiano Felicio, who is still on the roster because we overpaid the heck out of him, okay? And again, I just hope Felicio doesn't get any minutes, but he's on the roster, so I just want to point that out, okay? So now, that is basically the roster here. Now let's get back to the room exception here, okay? The Bulls absolutely will and should use the room exception as far as what they should address, okay? I'm a little torn here because I do feel like we could use another player, you know, at the 4 or the 5. We could use another big, you know, or we could also use another guy as a wing, you know, a wing shooter. You know, we could use somebody, you know, at the position of, you know, 3 or 2 who can play both. Because to me, Chandler Hutchinson, I don't know if I'm ready for him to get big minutes behind Otto Porter Jr. I don't know if he's ready for that himself. And then Denzel Valentine really hasn't showed up much for us. So to me, I do expect Laurie and Wendell to soak up a lot of these minutes. And we've got Thaddeus Young, who's, you know, going to take up a good amount of minutes behind Laurie. And same with Daniel Gafford. Maybe not as much, obviously. But I do feel like our depth at the big position is a little bit better than our depth over here. So I would probably go for a wing shooter. Now, a guy I was targeting was Wayne Ellington, but he got 2 years and like $16 million, $8 million per from the Knicks. So clearly out of our price range. But there's still guys out there that we can target, which I'll address in a different video. So there's 2 ways about it. Either we spend the whole $4.76 million on one player, whether that's a wing or a center, or we break it up and kind of get both, right? But as the roster stands right now, what do we have here? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So really about 14 players and bring in one more 15. That's the roster right there. So really for the Bulls, it's probably going to be one more player. So assuming this is the Bulls roster for the most part come opening day, and again, this room exception will be a player, but I don't expect it to be a big time player. Again, it's only $4.76 million. It'll be bench depth for us, okay? Assuming this is our roster, where does this team stack up right now, okay? In terms of the rest of the Eastern Conference. Again, free agency is still going on, but for the most part, the big names have kind of decided here. Of course, one big name with Kawhi Leonard, as of the recording of this video, has not decided yet, so we'll see what happens here, but I'll talk about that scenario too. So how many teams do I see that are definitively better than this Bulls team? And to me, I've got about 4 teams that are definitively better. The Bucks are better. The Raptors, again, with Kawhi Leonard coming back or without him coming back, they're still better. The Sixers, who I believe are the best team in the Eastern Conference. And the Celtics, who added Kemba Walker, even though they lost Al Horford, replacing with Enes Kanter. I know that's a big drop-off, but they're still good. Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, guys like that. Those 4 teams, definitively better than the Bulls. I got it. No arguments there. Then, okay, there's teams that could be better than the Bulls, but can you make the argument here? Because you took a look at the Pacers. They lost a lot of players, folks. Now, they added Malcolm Brogdon. Victor Oladipo's coming back from injury, okay? They've still got Miles Turner. You know, we took Thaddeus Young away. They lost Corey Joseph. They lost Bogdan Bogdanovic. So they lost 2 starters and a bench piece right there. And so are you really ready to say the Pacers are that much better than the Bulls? Now, again, Oladipo comes back healthy, very possible. And Brogdon and Oladipo are good players. And I like Miles Turner. But again, it's arguable, right? It's arguable. That's all I'm saying. The Nets, hear me out. Kevin Durant, he's healthy. It's not even a question. And the Nets probably still better. But right now, assuming, well, they're not even assuming Katie's going to be out this season. We just don't know how long. It's Kyrie Irving. Cool, I'll give you Kyrie. But then after that, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Jarrett Allen. I like this Nets roster. I don't love it. And to me, I think the Bulls are more balanced. And again, I could be, you know, way higher than other people. But all I'm saying is it arguable? Is it crazy? Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I don't think it's crazy. With Kevin Durant, you don't have an argument with me. They're better. But is it really that crazy? I don't think it is, okay? Then we've got a team like the Orlando Magic who made the playoffs last year, pretty much bringing their guys back, you know. So you can say they're better, but To me, the Magic really don't move the needle for me. Nikola Vucevic, Terrence Ross, Aaron Gordon, DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier, guys like that. The Detroit Pistons, they also made the playoffs last year. Still got Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. They added Derrick Rose in free agency. They're there. So here's the thing, though. A lot of people are going to assume this Bulls team, which was, third from last, 22-60 record, are going to be the same team. And here's the thing. I'm expecting significant leaps from Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine, okay? And a lot of the Bulls roster was hurt for a lot of games last year. People don't know. Lauri missed a lot of games. Wendell Carter Jr. only played 44 games. Zach LaVine at the end missed games, okay? Otto Porter Jr. just got assimilated with our team. So, after the trade. So, our team missed a lot of games. And at the end of the season, we were pretty much tanking for Zion, okay? So, I don't want people to focus on the record too much and where the Bulls were in the standings. Trust me, when this team was playing together, they were a decently good team. Here's the other teams that got worse. The Charlotte Hornets might be the worst roster in the entire NBA right now. So that's a team you don't have to worry about. The Washington Wizards. John Wall is going to be out the entire season. That's a team you don't have to worry about. The Cleveland Cavaliers didn't really do much, okay? Besides add some rookies. They still have Kevin Love, but that's nothing really to me. The New York Knicks, they added some pieces, but I don't believe the Knicks are going to be better than the Bulls. So to me, it's really teams like the Pistons, Magic, the Hawks, who I expect to make a leap, the Heat, who added Jimmy Butler, but really what else? Their second best players like Justice Winslow. The Bulls, to me, are in the mix. I see them in the mix as a playoff team here, folks, because to me, like right around that sweet spot, because again, I gave you those top 4 teams, right? And then after that, it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. And I believe the Bulls, and I'm going to do 9-10, here's the playoff line. And I do believe the Bulls can hover around here, and I definitely see them as a playoff team. So anywhere from, potentially 6 to 9 right here, we can be in this range. So I think this Bulls team, assuming these two guys, and even Wendell Carter Jr., who we drafted with the 7th overall pick, he's going to be good this year. And Kobe White, again, all of these guys have potential, but these are our 2 horses. Wendell Carter Jr. and Kobe White can show up and show out. But with these guys and with the veterans we added in Thaddeus Young and Tomas Satoransky, I know Satoransky's been in the NBA for 3 years, so hard to call him a veteran, but he does have some Europe experience, I believe. Otto Porter Jr., one of the better 3-and-D guys. This is a very balanced roster. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not any big names. But the Bulls will have some chemistry next year. They'll have some good balance. They'll have depth at every position. And this is a deep team with some shooting. Everybody in this lineup can shoot, folks. Literally everybody. Who's the only one in here that can't shoot? Felicio, get him out of here. Obviously, he can't shoot. Chris Dunn, he's not that good of a shooter. Chandler Hutchinson, Thaddeus Young can shoot a little bit. Daniel Gafford, maybe. Starting 5 can shoot. Valentine can shoot. Satoransky can shoot. Blakeney can shoot. Archie Diacono can shoot. Thaddeus Young can kind of shoot. We've got a shooting team, folks. So to me, when you take into account the entire roster, I do believe we've got talent to make the playoffs next year. That's the leap I expect them to make. That's where I'm at with the Chicago Bulls. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't even mention the guy we're going to add, but again, that's a bench piece. Let me know what you guys think about this Bulls team. How do you feel about this Bulls team shaping up coming into next season now with our roster pretty much set, okay? Are we an 8 seed? Are we still like a 10 seed? Are we going to, make that leap to maybe a top 4 or 5 team? Where do you see the Chicago Bulls? Let me know down below in the comments. And again, if you guys want me to do more of these whiteboard sessions, also let me know. I can do this for other teams as well. It's not just the Bulls. Let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching.